color is this ball of yarn?
We're live on the internet.
Live on the internet.
Hello
Is
and
this
Happy New
color
Year, says
black?
Asa.
Guess what? Chocolate, still not
Chocolate.
black.
Yeah, so that's still not black.
I just need one freaking skein of black yarn.
I've been watching this show for like 5 minutes.
God, James. I might be. I think I'm out of black acrylic yarn.
Gasp.
Yeah, I need another ball to finish my sister's blanket. This is not good. This is not good. This is in fact bad.
Oh no.
Uh,
Tammy's in chat. Happy New Year. Warm enough that I got outside walk before the show. Oh my gosh.
Oh, lovely.
Words today. Words are hard.
Words are hard. Yes, they are.
And Happy New Year, says Tracy.
Happy New Year. So I need to go buy yarn. It's like January the 1st. How am I out of acrylic yarn?
Well, you're not out of acrylic per se, just the color that you happen to need.
I need more black yarn. I swear. All right. Well,
Question
it
is,
is
what do I
what
want
it
to work
is.
on while we record?
It
Oh, that's
is
silly.
what it is.
It's the episode
I'm
slash cast on party. I need to be working on my cast on.
Guys, you know what'll help?
Swatch, therefore.
If I move the microphone closer to my face,
Ooh.
then I cannot be quite so close to my computer. Now I have room to move. Oh, good. All right.
Turn is the perfect color for Jocelyn, says Asa.
Oh, yes. It's been an experiment in can I crochet through touch only? The answer is yes, I can. But it's
that's good to know.
Interesting. We're going to go with interesting. Just in case someone calls or texts, put my phone on silent, and we can get this party started. Let's do an intro. Guys, welcome to the Northern Knits Podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and tuck everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is...
Diana.
She had to change the sign to 300, guys, because we are officially...
I had to find 3 whole digits today.
No longer can she laze about and only change one digit. She had to change all 3.
I know.
Never mind that all of them come from the same box.
Yeah, but the box isn't organized at all, so it's kind of a pain.
Well, now whose fault is that?
Well, mine.
I have celebratory intense orange chocolate bar to eat today.
Ooh. I
and no
thought
black
about
yarn.
So many celebratory snacks and then got none of them.
Really?
I got dressed up. That's my thing. I got dressed up.
I also don't... It's because you had to go somewhere else today, isn't it?
No, actually.
You just randomly felt like dressing up for me? Because that's not normal.
Well, it's episode 300 and I forgot to bake cookies, so I'm like, I can get dressed up. I brew my own kombucha dress.
I love that dress so much.
I'm so pleased with this outfit, how it worked in my head and it actually worked in real life.
Oh, yeah, that worked out really well.
I have never... I was really happy. I wasn't sure.
In my life, been with you when you have bought a more you thing. In the... What did we decide? Like a decade and bit? We've known each other?
Crescent moons to go with the whole, witchy vibe.
Guys, that dress, which is like a smock thing, and Diana put it on, and I was just like, yeah, just hand over your money.
Yeah, I put it on and I'm like...
It's never coming off. Yeah, it wasn't coming off. I figured that much out the moment we had it on your head. I'm like, and spent. Can I figure out what button is full screen? No, I cannot. There I go. Well, I figured it out. I have to lower my microphone a touch because it's just in my field of vision. There, now it's in the black part of the black screen and I won't even know it's there.
Perfect.
I don't have a cup today for what's in our cup, but if you want to run through what we're going to cover this week, because it's a podcast. It is the monthly live check-in. As of today, we go back to our regular yearly schedule. We take December off and do lives because Diana is very busy. Yeah. And now we're in 2023. Back to the daily grind.
Weird.
Why do I not have another ball of black yarn? I had 5. Where'd they go? I know where they went.
Into the blanket?
A lot of them, yes.
See if Phaedra knows where one is.
She might, but she won't tell me. She's rude.
Also says macrame, natural dyeing, and kombucha. Here it comes.
Here it comes. This will not do another 6 rounds of blanket.
No, no, it won't. I don't think it'll even do like one side.
It might do one side, but that'd be a bit of a stretch. Okay, cool.
Anyway, what we're covering today, I've got some what's in my cup. I don't know if we have any cool threads. I have cool threads. I've been wearing stuff. It's been the right weather for it. Definitely we have woolly workings. And definitely we will have wool gathering. We'll talk about craft off stuff. And we'll talk about starting the podcast anniversary for our 6-year anniversary coming up in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wild.
Stuff's a happening. Things are going on.
Just don't even know. I don't even know how to process this. I should have brought chocolate or baking or something to process this.
Well, I mean, I warned you. We had plenty of opportunities.
I did, and I really, really thought I was going to do some baking last night, and I didn't. I just utterly didn't. We
I was
watched
just
a
assume
lot of
it's
Star Trek Voyager, and I did a lot of crafting, and I don't regret it, but now I don't have any cookies.
fair,
And I slightly
fair,
regret that.
fair. I always assume I will not have enough time to do the baking I want to do. Oh,
I'm
goodness
learning that that's a
gracious.
safe assumption. Anyway, I have a thing in my cup.
Oh, that's good. I have a bottle of pop.
In
That's
my
where I'm at
mushroom cup.
today.
Not that you can tell, but I poured the best cappuccino latte art that I ever have in my life this morning. Did
Oh,
I take a
good.
picture of it?
Oh,
No, of
no.
course I didn't.
Of course.
It still really wasn't picture worthy. It's not even like as good as ye old basic latte art you get in a coffee shop, but it's the best coffee latte art that I've ever done,
You're
and I
working
was
on it.
proud of it.
Also, you make like one cappuccino every now and again. The guys at the coffee shop are making like 40 a day. There's
Yeah,
just a
I was
different
thinking if
practice
you're
level
making like
going
20
on.
cappuccinos an hour, you're gonna learn how to do the art way faster than if you're making 20 cappuccinos a month.
Yeah, yeah. There's just a time investment differential there.
Just a little bit. Anyway,
Just a
so
smidge.
after like 3 years, no, 2 years, when did I get this thing? I don't know. It got to be at least
You
two
got it.
years. I'm
Two
starting to get the
years
hang of
minimum.
it.
So what I
I
forgot
think
to
I at
do,
least have the
guys.
right milk texture now.
Hey, every little bit counts. I forgot. What in
Ooh,
the world have
blurry.
I done now?
You've made a very blurry background. Ooh, hi. Now we can see the
Hi.
yarn again.
Yes, I forgot to push the button that filters the light better for everybody.
Ah,
Because the light I need to function and the light you guys see me by is totally different. Do need to
fair,
balance
fair.
that proportion out for people. Okay. I don't know how everybody's New Year's Eve went in chat. How
Chat's
things are
been very
going.
quiet today. How was everybody's New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Mr. Diana and I made hot chocolate and maybe put some booze in it and went for a walk to scope out the parties at like 11 o'clock at night. Biggest party in the neighborhood happened to be right across the street.
Okay. That works.
Mm.
I
And not too
was.
many fireworks, which was nice.
Oh, I heard the fireworks, but I could hear the fireworks from the forks here because they're just fireworks are so bloody loud.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I was in bed resting with my eyeballs closed when the guys in Warhammer decided to wish me Happy New Year, and they all know that my social media stuff does not beep at me about my phone well. So I got texts at midnight with photos and stuff. Yeah, jerks woke me up. It's fine. Fine.
Happy New Year.
Fine. I got pictures of cute kids passed out because I didn't make it to midnight, and
Oh, that's all
nobody
right.
nobody does cute passed out like a 4-year-old.
Oh, man, yeah.
Toddler passed out is adorable as all get out. Adults, we don't look that cute. We just don't. We
No.
don't. But kids who've fallen asleep, and then it's just that's it. They're dead to the world asleep on the planet. Including somewhere on my sibling's archived phone, several of her daughter making a fool of herself being passed out at like 2 through 6, out cold.
Oh, keep those for graduation.
I hope my sister has not gotten rid of those. She
Those
kept the
need to
kids' baby
go into
clothes.
the slideshow and or scrapbook for
They need to
graduation.
They need to pop up at our wedding is what needs to happen.
Oh, that too. Yes.
Because we're those kind of people.
Absolutely.
It's noon Manitoba time. I'm eating lunch.
Also said New Year's Eve was wonderful. Loved the bingo live, and then chatted all the way to midnight.
With me.
Susanna has joined us in chat.
Hi, Susanna.
Tracy said, good, home late, out for dinner at friends, just up in time for this podcast, still in PJs. Perfect. Sounds like
that's
a
a really good way.
Year.
That's a really good way to do it. You just need a cup of coffee and some knitting and you're golden.
Nikki's weaving in the end on her first crochet square of the year.
Some people are doing the 365 granny square challenge and I'm so excited for them. Ugh.
Yeah, we were doing the math yesterday about how to turn that into a queen size blanket or something, and that's like 360 squares.
Yeah.
Which is so cool.
Yeah. So it's like
a size blanket at the end of the year.
You weave in your ends, and then like every month you attach the squares you've made for the month. End of the year, like on that last day of the year, you're attaching that last row, and you've made a queen size blanket in like 15, 20-minute snippets all year round. And when you think about it, 15, 20 minutes, that's your cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
That's why it was doable. That's why I was like, no, it's a super achievable goal. It's because I piecemealed it down that hardcore. And I had surgery that year. So I had 2 weeks where I didn't, and I had to catch up because I was not crocheting 48 hours after major abdominal surgery. I was in fact very drunk.
That was the year we started the podcast.
That was the year we started the podcast. We were doing that. Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I like lording over the fact that I did the whole year and you didn't. And I would absolutely redo that challenge with you. Like, we could start today. You could be like, no, that's it. Let's do it again. And I would absolutely be game to see if I can win twice. Because I didn't quit.
I think we all know you can win twice.
I didn't quit, and I had surgery. I got Phaedra, I think, the next year. No, same year. I got Phaedra that fall.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had my surgery. Yeah, because you got engaged the Christmas before. Then we started the podcast. Or talked about the podcast. I had the surgery. We started the podcast that fall. I got the cat. So, like, my cat's almost 6 years old, too. Wow. Things were happening that year, guys. 2016 was a busy year. Hello. Speaking of monsters.
Hello,
you have food in your bowl. Go look at your bowl. It's your astronaut food. Because I watched an Instagram reel where the cat stared at the screen saying there's 2 types of food. One's this brown niblet thing, and then the cat looks at the camera because that's just the timing that the person who's doing the video does. I think they're training us to be astronauts. So now, of course, I call her dry food astronaut food.
I mean, not wrong. Have you seen the moon cheese?
I've tried. I have tried and seen moon cheese. Oh, come here, bug. All right. So we've got plenty to talk about project-wise. I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. We're not recording. We're not recording. I need my hands. I have more projects than Diana.
And Asa says her blanket will be finished before a year since it's not queen size. Makes sense.
Yes, it does. Yes, the blanket for Asa is smaller. Actually, Asa, can you resend me those measurements, not in centimeters, for width and length for it? Because I didn't write them down like I should have. But I don't function in centimeters for blanket sizes. Like most of my math, it's half metric, half imperial, and I do height, sewing, and bed sizes in imperial, not metric, which means I don't understand. I don't understand. But I do my
systems are so messed up.
So messed up. Like, I do my baking in fractions.
How many millimeters, says Asa?
I know. I do my baking in fractions, but I do my knitting needles in millimeters. I am aware that it makes no sense, but we are a conglomerate of hot, garbagey mess in this country for measurements. I really need both my hands, Bug. Bug?
No.
Oh, Bug.
Hello? Says, but you're talking, so Phaedra thinks it's to her.
She always thinks it's to her, even when she's staring at the steam pipe like a moron.
Well, there's ghosts, don't you know?
It's because sometimes there's a safety release valve on the steam heating system. So it'll hiss when it's releasing steam to balance the pressure of the pipe system,
Right.
which is good. It's what you want it to do. Otherwise, it could explode. That would be bad.
But Phaedra doesn't like it?
Phaedra doesn't like it, so she stares at it like it's a menace out to get us.
Right.
Or when the
Well, it
steam
might
heat
be.
goes on in the evening, she's right there. I'm like, no, it's just the steam turning on.
It's
It's
fine.
good.
Don't worry about it. We're all good.
We're good, buddy.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. So I figured out how to give myself space at the foot end of the bed. I
Oh,
put
yeah.
my flat white down on the other side of my bed. She sleeps on that now. Otherwise, I
Ah.
have no space.
Gotta put
I
down the
have
woolly sweater.
50 million projects.
To talk
No,
about today.
really. To talk about today. I
Ooh.
have two half-finished objects, one finished object. That's already three. Let me count. One, two, three. Cardigans, four. Socks I'm going to cast on today are five. The cast on is six, seven, and craft off. That's eight, nine,
Okay. 1, 2,
10.
3, 4,
Either nine or 10.
5, 6. I have 6.
I don't, because I'm like, are we counting the craft off projects separately? In which case I have 10.
I mean, I was counting my craft off in there.
Okay. Okay.
Well, I think.
Well, I go first. Step one, a tale of woe.
Oh no. What's the woe?
I have the Stardew Valley sock patterns.
Uh huh.
This is exciting. I wanted to make the winter socks as the first pair of socks in the sock off challenge with Asa.
Mm-hmm.
The rules being every time I've finished a singular pair of socks, Asa has 3 weeks to make 2 pairs of socks.
Okay.
My goal being to make a pair of socks every month. Good goal. So you're thinking, well, Jocelyn, didn't you just open up the thing and read the pattern? I did open up the pattern. And boy, do I bloody well want to make these socks. Kind of irritated that I can't. But in accessibility mode, see where we're going with this? See where we're going with this?
Oh no.
I have no chart.
Oh
I have no chart, and the font is outlined. So it's black font outlined in a little yellow band on a black background.
Oh.
Because they did flip the font to yellow font on a black background, which is what I need. And my chart is just yellow squares with black pictures and nothing in it. Now, before everybody gets into the hole with the whites and the flipping and the yes, if I use a white background or a light background, ye old regular background with a blue light filter, obviously, because you want to save your eyeballs, I will have a migraine in about 10 minutes. I cannot use light screens. The light sensitivity is too bad now. We've slid in the last year or so. I cannot. It is no longer achievable for me. So I either have to have my screen set down to the nobody can actually see it, but it's turned on with the screen reader mode, or black mode with size like 24 font. That is the only way I can use a computer. So we've got some limitations. So now I have to ask Diana or Sherry or Asa to very, very kindly
flip all the colors.
Take a look at that chart, pull it out, and flip all the colors so that I can use the charts. Isn't that great? On a pattern we paid for. Not happy.
Not happy. Is unfortunate.
Size inclusivity is a thing. We're working on it. I really want to put accessibility at the top. Like, I'd like to make that a movement. I would like to make it a thing where pattern designers get some cheek, get some shade, possibly even stern finger shaking. When their patterns are not screen reader accessible and are not accessible in larger format fonts, which means written instructions, not just charts, because if I had the written instructions, I could just put it on screen reader mode and the pattern's still accessible to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I want to make that a movement. Can we make that a movement? Can we make that a thing where the knitting community stands up and we go, enough. We're not doing the basics as an add-on. It is now standard. You have to do this. or you get stern finger shaking. Can I put you down now?
No, never.
So I had to change my socks. Thankfully, Asa came to the rescue, and we went looking for sockies. We went looking for sock patterns. You're just the cutest. Oh, so cute. Such a cute kitten.
Oh, that
She's
is the face of
growling. She's
regret.
grumbles. Now
That
maybe
was the
she'll stay
face
down.
of regret. That was
Let,
amazing.
gonna let you pick you up. There's consequences to actions there, Missy. And don't get me wrong. I need to stern finger shake both me and Diana.
For what?
Not using alt text in our pictures.
Oh my god.
We can't skip
Apps need to
that
make it
anymore.
easier to add alt text. It's so easy on Twitter.
Twitter nailed it. Twitter nailed it.
Instagram alt text
Is
sucks.
gross to do.
I just
Gross
never
to do.
remember to do it because they hide it in a submenu on a submenu.
It is a submenu and a submenu, and if you accidentally touch any part of your screen that isn't your text box, it deletes your whole text thing.
Yeah.
The number of times I've had to write alt text 5 or 6 times is getting frustrating. But I know we need to do it. I know we need to make it not a thing that we sometimes remember to do, but a thing that we just do. We just. It's why with the Rebel
mad.
MCal, there's no charts. It's because the Rebel MCal on my tired days when I was trying to put this together very, very quickly, I couldn't see my screen. So I did over half the Rebel MCal strictly on screen reader. So they had to be written instructions.
Makes sense.
The charts just don't work for me on tired days. But we did find socks. So I can cast on socks today. There's like 12 different needles shoved into the shawl here. Like I'm just folding them and shoving them in the shawl. So somewhere in here are my sock needles, which I'll have to find after we're done podcasting, because I need the magnifying glass to bring my needle sizer. But I'm going to make what are called solstice socks.
Okay.
They're
I'm
by
intrigued. I love a pun.
Yeah, they're by the petite knitter. All one word. Treat it like one ginormous word. She's indigenous. And I'm going to make these beautiful colorwork socks in this sparkly teal and this reddy color. So this will be main color here will be the red, and then the color work will be in the sparkles. Oops, I gotta move my head out of frame so it focuses.
Those are pretty. I like it.
So I am going to cast these on today. I was taking a look at the stitch counts. I have to do the box. I'm going to do, it's cuffed down. I have said no. I do toe up socks. So I've taken this pattern, which also kindly gifted to me, so I could do this. I have flipped it. So I'm going to do it toe up because I hate cuff down. I can't. Oof, no. And I'm going to do the charts instead of from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom, which is how you flip the chart, right? So like reverse the chart that you're working on. So the only other adaptation I might make is, well, technically there's color working in through the toe of the sock because I'm doing a slightly different toe. I will do a ye old basic naked toe, and then I will start with the color work charts. And I will color work chart up the foot. It does call for an afterthought heel, which means I could just do mock short row heel where I need my heel to go. And then I can just do the leg of the sock and the cuff of the sock and do that way. So that was super exciting to find because it meant I didn't have to worry about the charts being changed or tweaked to accommodate a heel flap and gusset because it's an afterthought heel. They expect you to cut the heel in afterwards or put the waist yarn in. I could just do a mock row where my afterthought heel would go and then keep going up the leg of my foot. So that is what I'm going to do, but it is Solstice by the Petite Knitter. She has so much freaking gorgeous colorwork socks and beautiful chunky bulky sweaters and just and her portrait outside landscapes of the tundra where it's like her and you don't see her face, you see the back of her and she's like standing in work overalls with her bulky sweater underneath. Just it just reminds me of home so much, guys. I grew up in the tundra. Like that's home. That's home to me. So I'm just like, I want to knit all of the things she's ever made, but I'm going to have to adapt the bulky weight patterns down to worsted, DK down to fingering, so like I can use them in the southern climate I live in.
That's fair.
But I want
Nikki is saying
all of
if you have
it.
any feedback for her about her patterns, to send her a message about if there's anything
I
non
will
accessible about her patterns.
I will take a look. I haven't opened up one of your patterns in so long I don't remember because for me it's an irritation at the moment and then it's out my head because there are other things I have to deal with in a day.
Yep.
So it's only if I run across my biggest gripe and what will stick in my head is charts that don't invert when you put them in dark mode. And the easiest thing to do is just to look at your patterns and then just ask your PDF reader to flip it to dark mode. Then you guys will see what I'm dealing with because your standard dark mode is black screen with yellow font. I'm a standard dark mode. I still increase my font like crazy, crazy bad. And a good chunk of patterns flip just fine. It's the charts. It's the charts.
Probably
And
because
I
they're
have some,
images.
yeah, and I have patterns with charts and I've made the charts normal. So I actually have like for the spooky vibes stuff, all of those charts are duplicates because I had to make the chart for me. So I made it in a reverse inverse color format. And then I had to go back in and change it for normal people because you guys wouldn't understand what I was doing. So like I want to release a accessible version of the spooky vibes collection, but I have to actually flip out all my charts, not the patterns, because they're the wrong charts for the programs that people will use that require the vision aid accessibility programs. I also need to take a look at writing out the instructions fully because, again, screen readers don't do pictures.
Mm-hmm.
They just say picture.
Not helpful.
Not helpful. So I actually have to sit down and write out line by line for the spooky vibes written instructions for the color work. So that way, if the only thing you need to do is blow it up, which is the stage I'm at, you're good to go. But if what you need is a screen reader, you need someone to write all of that out for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, not exciting work, but it is work that I need to do. But then again, guys, I also want to start releasing in other languages because I know being English is limiting. Not everybody speaks English. A lot of us do. We all do it very poorly, but it isn't the only language. And I would like to produce in other languages so that it's more accessible to people. Yeah, it's just about making it easier. Because even if you speak English as a second or third language, it makes it harder to understand because your brain doesn't necessarily think in that language. I don't always think in English. Sometimes I'm thinking in Inuktitut, French, and English at the same time because I grew up around all three languages as a child. So, like, all three are mashed in my head. So, if you wonder where my grammar problems come from, probably there because they're all different grammatical structures and wildly different spellings. We saved a couple of patterns from the petite knitter that are definitely not things you're going to enjoy pronouncing.
Phaedra's doing some gymnastics in the back there.
Don't
She's making me
know.
nervous.
I give up. It's like she's had her can of Popeye spinach today. She's just been all over the place today. We
Oh
won't
dear.
tell how many times I had to fetch the yellow ball out from underneath the coffee table today. My mom brought one of her old hand stress balls.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just a soft foamy ball. It's just a big, large, soft foamy ball for the monster. Is she behind me?
Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
She's pulling the
That's
strings.
safe. Yep. Demonstrating cat logic. So that's been all over the place today already too. But you just stay understand. Just stay understand. It's for you. No? Okay, cool. You know where she's going now? Sewing tables that way. And of
Right,
course
on
it
all
is.
the surfaces she's not supposed to be on.
Yes. Pretty much. So there's my first thing. I gotta cast that on. A sock challenge. And I've been challenged to a duel. So like this is important. It has to happen. We also discussed my release schedule and work schedule for the year. My God, guys, I'm busy this year. Okay. I do have some finishes, so if I go through those, then we're sitting fairly even. I'll have eaten through like three things.
Go for it.
We'll be closer. I got the sock done. So
Yay!
when we were doing the whip sprints the other day, literally two
Literally a
days
couple
ago,
of days ago.
2 days ago, yeah. I in one of my sprints, I got through the ribbing, and in the one of my other sprints, I did my bind off. So I have one fully completed finished sock in the snow globe colorway.
Nice.
And knowing what my schedule looks like in February, having talked to Asa, my whip socks will count if I finish the second sock. So I'm going to do the second snow globe sock ideally in February when I'm busy with sweater crafting, right? One sock in a month when there's only 3 weeks in the month, and 2 of those weeks I'm crafting like a crazy person on a sweater. Way more achievable than a pair. For me. For me. Other people I'm sure can do it. I cannot. I cannot. I can talk about my other FO that puts me at 3.
So many FOs. Okay.
So everybody voted that I would be working on my knit picks last month for the craft off. And the losing yarn was the Wool of the Andes hand painted touch of alpaca. So like 20% alpaca. Most of it's acrylic in here. But I really, really, really wanted to work on it. That's why I was in the voting pile. So I made a cowl in the background.
Ooh.
Look at that pooling. Just look at what
Love
that
how that
did.
turned out. The zigzaggy
Isn't
thing.
that amazing?
That's so cool.
Is that just, oh yeah. Oh, now this ate up 2.25 skeins of yarn in the worsted. It's called the Winter Rib set. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. This is the cowl. There's a hat and fingerless mitts that also go with the pattern. And this is just the cowl. Just like look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my god.
It looks very
Like
swooshy.
look at that pulling. Oh yeah, so swooshy. It's 1x1 rib, guys. It's 1x1 rib. But look at that coloring.
That's looks so good.
So happy. Now I have to weave in my ends because boy did I ever not do that. I bound off this morning. But look at that bad boy. Yeah.
Oh, that looks so cozy.
Woo. Yeah.
Chat likes
I mean,
it
it
too.
looks weird with my hair sticking out the wrong place, but I'm not fiddling around with my headphones.
Yeah, whatever.
And we got stretch because of the rib.
Ooh, you could almost double that over.
I really could. So I'm not gonna wash and block it because I want it to stay snug. But with the acrylic in it, I could probably be a touch rougher on it. So I need to weave in my ends. I started the process with most of my ends as I was going, so I really just have the one at the beginning and one at the end that really need a serious weaving in, and then some bits of weaving in where I connected things. But for the moment, it's off the needles and done.
Heckin' cozy.
That's right. I did this well in secret because I really wanted to work on it. Not total secret. I told Jen what I was doing because I was like, I need to show someone. By the time you realize that this is happening, I had to show someone. I had to show someone. So I showed Jen because I was chatting with her at the time.
That makes sense.
So there you go. I have a cowl. And I still have a skein and 3/4 left of this hand painted yarn.
What's that going to become?
Fingerless mittens. I casted them on the other day.
Ah.
All right, I'm up to 3. Which means
I
you
should
can
probably
start
talk
now.
about a thing.
There's
All
so
right.
much stuff on the go. Oh, guys.
I guess while we're recording, I've been working on Mr. Diana's sock. Look at all that progress I've made this week.
Ooh, that's a lot of progress.
That's progress. Which means I have like a inch and a half or so left on the leg of the sock. Because
I can't tell the difference between the front half and the back half of the sock, but if you say there's an inch and a half, I believe you. It's just too dark for me to see the difference. That's all.
That's fair.
I love that color though.
It's like inch and a half because I make it till it hits the toe and then the ribbing. I'm concerned about running out of the contrast because I need to be able to do the toe and heel and cuff of the other sock. So I think rather than the usual like inch and a half, 2 inches of ribbing, I will just do 1 inch and that will probably be fine.
Yeah. Or you could just do it in the main color and just have contrast heels and toes.
I could. That is also a thing I could do. But I want the contrast though.
Do a stripe of the contrast, and then do like 3 rounds of the regular, and then a stripe of the contrast, 3 rounds of the regular, stripe of the contrast. Because then you get a
it should be
stripy
okay.
contrast cuff. I have no idea. I cannot, at my size foot, use 120-gram mini and get heels, toes, and cuffs. I can get 2 of the 3 on both socks, but not all 3.
Well, I'm gonna find out. And it may be that I'm knitting off the cuff of this sock onto the cuff of the other sock to make them even, but
That's fair.
we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna try it. So these are some plain vanilla socks out of Red Wing Blackbird from Fireweed Fiber Co. They're getting done.
They're getting done.
They're getting done. They're getting there. It's not done yet, but I've stuck it on my head. I stuck that knitting needle into my head. That hurt. That was unanticipated and undesirable. I stabbed myself in the head with a knitting needle.
All right.
I'm a highly intelligent, competent, adult human person.
Well, I mean, you did move the oatmeal bowl, so you don't stick your elbow in your oatmeal.
I at least did that. I at least moved the oatmeal so I did not stick my elbow in it.
So I could go with yes. Yes, you are.
All right, that's my first thing.
That's your first thing? So much going on. So much going on. I've got 3 stitches left on this edge.
Well, hurry up.
How's chat doing? Or I can distract you.
Just chilling. I think
Chilling.
everybody's just crafting quietly.
Enjoying my stress. While we're streaming today, because I was about to say while we're recording, but wait, we're not.
Recording, streaming.
Problem is, next week, when we're back to recording, I just struggle to remember to say recording.
Mm-hmm.
Of course I am.
As you do.
As you do. I am, in fact, working on my first of the fingerless mittens. I don't think I have enough yardage in this wool of the Andes to make a hat and the 2 pairs of mittens. So I'm going to start with the mittens because that's more important to me.
Makes sense.
Because if I have to finish the hat by striping it with another acrylic worsted or something, like making a striped version of it, I'll just do that. I'll just do that. That's fine. So that's okay. But there you go. 10 to 10 to start. Literally like 2 rounds. Should I use 3 DPNs and then use a 4th to knit off of? Yes. Do I? Never.
Whatever.
And now we have the case of the zoomies.
Okay. If it's working for you, then that's fine.
Yeah, it does. Also, I couldn't be bothered to find a 4th needle, so I found 3 and said, close enough. Close enough. That'll do. All right, that leaves me with 2 regular things to talk about and then craft off stuff. And podcast anniversary stuff.
I have 3 regular things because we did the sprints. I actually have like lots of things, and then craft off, and then podcast anniversary.
2 of the 3 things I did for the sprints are the craft off stuff.
All right. I'll do a boring one first. I still have not quite finished the back panel of the 4-hour cardigan. I'm gonna hold it up one more time for posterity. It's so freaking close. I keep measuring it, being so hopeful, and I just keep being like a couple inches short. This panel is massive. This cardigan's going to be huge. It's going to be a socially acceptable blanket. I'm very excited about it.
The back panel is the biggest log.
Oh, God.
It's the biggest log.
It's so close to being done. Oh. I remembered, because I wound some more yarn for it, finally. Briggs & Little Regal 2-ply wool in brown heather.
Yep, because I'm doing mine in the heritage blue gray heather.
Yes, the gray heather that is blue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very blue gray. We've already decided we need more Briggs & Little garments in our lives.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I'm really excited about the yarn that I'm using for the podcast anniversary because it feels very Briggs and Little. It's not Briggs and Little.
Ooh.
It's from a local farm, but it feels very Briggs and Little.
Ah, beautiful.
Okay, so there's that. Yeah. Oh right. This is the 4-hour cardigan by Crochet with Carrie. It's a free pattern. It's lovely. Go make it. Waffle stitch is amazing.
Oh, the waffle stitch is so good. Your front panel is going to feel like it's going to fly.
And then sleeves, and yeah, I'm so excited to get this back panel done. Oh my god.
I'm with you. I'm with you on the back panel woes. There's such long rows. But it's also like 50% of the cardigan, so it's a huge chunk of the cardigan.
Yeah. Where's the front? How much
The
did I
braid's
actually
just
get done
like
on this the other day? Yeah, I did like a whole row when we did our whip sprints, because these rows are long.
Ah, your Cobra sweater.
This is the Cobra sweater for the niece. Her birthday is in 15 days.
Yeah. Let's see, you're making great progress on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna dedicate many more sprints to this week.
Good idea.
This is the Copperhead Tee pattern, which I have modified it to be cobras as requested.
That better be a toy you're playing with.
And this is out of some more Fireweed Fiber Co. in, I think the beige color is Latte and the blue color is
Big Blue Bus.
Big Blue Bus. Is that it?
I have no idea. I just her
actually,
favorite
I think
blue
it might
colorway.
Be Harvest something. Harvest Night.
Harvest Mood? Harvest Mood? Harvest Night?
Harvest something. I think Big Blue Bus is different.
Maybe it is. Big Blue Bus is my favorite of her blues is Big Blue Bus. I just love the color.
I'm pretty sure this is Harvest something. Anyway.
It's probably Harvest something.
Niece picked the pattern. Niece picked the yarn. Niece still requesting sweater like a year and a half later, so it's getting done for her birthday. She's turning 8 in 15 days and is getting done.
Yeah, I look forward to that.
So glad. Okay, so when I finish the chart, I can split for the sleeves, and then it's just like a little bit of plain stockinette, and then the bottom chart is way less intense, and I don't have to modify anything about it. And then all I have to do is pick up and do a little bit of ribbing around the sleeves because it's a tee, and she said she didn't want sleeves to make it a full sweater. She just wanted regular short sleeves, so perfect. And it's an extra small adult size, so it should still fit an 8-year-old.
For the record, if you are not on your sleeves when you get onto the airplane, you're not done.
Oh, I'm aiming to have this done actually in 10 days so that there's time for it to dry.
Good call.
So, I'm manifesting the Cobra sweater by January 10th.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
Here's my back panel.
Good back panel.
We are over 21 waffles high, and I need 33 waffles. So I need another 11, 12 waffles. This is how I'm counting this back panel. I have done a front panel 2 measurements, so I know how long I need to have my back panel to be. I did that for a reason, because if I did this to the recommended size measurements, it would be too short to be a below the posterior baggy cardigan.
And we can't have that.
Because I want to wear this with leggings, and leggings are not pants. So I will have a long shirt on, a long tunic, essentially, leggings, and this is what I want. So I needed to make this longer. I conveniently finished a row and the ball of yarn at the same time.
Oh, fantastic.
It's so nice when it works that way. So I have a couple balls wound up, and I need to keep going on this. I've been treating this like sprinting, like because I was doing it at the same time I was doing the rib cowl. And then I didn't sprint this morning, which I should have done. I finished the rib cowl instead because I just wanted to have an FO. So this is the Blue Heather from Briggs & Little. This is their heritage. You can see that stitch definition.
It's so great.
So I'm very excited. I already have one front panel done, so once this back panel is done, I am just down to one more front panel and 2 sleeves. Excellent. Which, again, the sleeves will have to be modified in length because of my arm length. So once the second front panel is done, I actually need to sew my shoulders together and sew up the one side. So clippy stitch it together so I can then put it on and see how far up my arm my sleeve has to go to fit me. Then I can do the sleeves. So I'm not worried about the sleeves because the sleeves are legit a Critical Role episode. So like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours for me to crochet a sleeve because the rows are so short. Because again, it's flat, but you're just going around your arm. And I tend to shrink the sleeve sizes so that they're not super baggy because I don't like it. I like a snug sleeve,
I like the
which
baggy
in this
sleeves.
case will help me. The other thing that I've been working on this week that isn't craft off sprint knitting is my sister's blankie. My sister's blankie. Which, as you can tell when we were talking earlier, I now need to go find more freaking black yarn. So, had
You're
some
so close to
growth,
done too.
and I am at row 12, row 11 or row 12 of my last repeat before finishing. And there's only 18 rows. That is how stinking close I am.
But you definitely need more yarn for that.
I need more black yarn. So that needs to happen. And then I can be finished this. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to go stash diving with my magnifying app and my cell phone and see if I've got scrapped black, which I have to do under the magnifying app because I got to be able to look at the strands individually against the black background to make sure it's black acrylic yarn and see if I can scrounge enough scrap to get this finished because my God, do I want this finished. Oh. Because then it's another FO. And then I have 2 FOs and I can cast on something if I want to. I'm not going to. I have a lot of cast ons going on right now, but that's not the point. The point is I could. All right. Which brings us to craft off knitting, doesn't it? Or do you have more stuff that isn't
I
craft
have
off?
one more thing before we get to craft off.
Do your thing.
If you'll remember,
I'm eating a protein bar.
I did several sprints on the patchwork cardigan because it's really close to being done.
Yep. It's even closer than my sister's blanket.
I have indeed finished sewing it together. It is cardigan shaped. Ta-da!
We're all very proud. I don't see any cup collars and hem.
I started. I started the hem. So the pattern calls for you just doing strips and then sewing them on, and I'm like, I'm so tired of sewing. So I attached mine.
Yeah, I just attached mine as I went.
Yeah, so I'm just doing a single crochet whenever I get up to the body, and but whoever suggested navy blue, yes, I love it. Where's the top of this thing so I can? There we go.
Oh yeah, navy blue was totally the right call.
Navy blue was the right call. That's gonna look so good.
Looks so good. And it's gonna pull the whole cardigan together.
Yeah. It'll be a nice dark contrast without being like too stark. Like if it was a black or like a charcoal gray or something, I think that would have been too much. But the navy blue is just right.
Yeah, no, totally the right color.
So, this is the patchwork winter cardigan, inspired by the Harry Styles cardigan from several years ago at this point, by Crochet with Carrie. It's a free pattern.
Mine's been done for a while, so.
Yeah. Anyway, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be so good, and yeah, it was a touch short on me, but I think by the time we add the this, it'll be the right length.
Yeah, I added an extra 2 rows to the body, 2 square rows to the body, and an extra 2 to the arms to make it long enough for me. There we go. Therefore, slightly too long for my niece who prefers things to be very baggy and very tall right now.
If I've got the shoulder seam right up at my shoulder, then this is hitting like mid-hip now.
Which is what
high hip.
Yeah.
It's now mid-hip.
Mid-hip, which is what you
where
like.
I like my sweaters.
Yeah.
And that will also solve the problem of the sleeves being a touch short. They will be the right length.
Okay. Good. Awesome sauce.
I didn't realize this thing actually is supposed to have buttons. I don't know if mine's gonna have buttons. I might do an
Look,
unbutton band.
I've been wearing my moonbeam cardigan. Can you tell? It's draped on my chair.
All right.
It's really nice post bath. You
Get
get
out right now.
out, you put on your clothes or your pajamas if it's nighttime, and you just throw that on and pair
Yeah.
of socks, and I'm super comfortable. Guys, I wear nightgowns, like nighty nightgowns, because that's what I like to wear.
Oh, Sherry
There's
was asking
naked.
about your blanket if you could use the blue in place of the black.
I don't have any more of the blue.
Ah, you're out of the blue. That
Out of the blue. And I discussed it with the sibling by sending her pictures, going, would you like a different kind of blue? Or would you just like black to the edge? And she said black to the edge. So I am working on it as per requested. Which is what I said, it's not going to be finished for Christmas. She's like, not in black, it won't be. It's fine. She's like, I'm asking for the harder color. I can wait longer. She's like, also, didn't put the request in until later in the year, so you're still making great progress. I'm like, thank you. But what I want to cast on is that giant bulky weight blanket pattern that I sent you for Mikey of the Crochet Crowd. Is
I
it like
also want to
a study of
cast that
winter?
on.
I think it's a study in winter.
I don't remember what the pattern name was, but yes, it looked glorious, and I also want to cast that on out of one of those giant anniversary cakes.
I don't have that, but what I do have is 2 big balls of the Burnett blanket in the bulky, which is variegated, and I have a metric 2 boxes of worsted weight scraps. So I feel like I could probably do like a marled version of it.
Ooh, definitely.
And make it out of scraps and just transition my scraps and my Burnett blanket. So like do 2 stripes of Burnett blanket, 2 stripes of scraps, marl, 2 stripes of, and then you'll get this nice medley of colors if I pick the right color palette for it. So like I'm eyeballing that because my God, guys, that's too many scraps. It's too many scraps. I need to do something with it. Could you please go to sleep? It's
No,
the
playtime.
afternoon. It's cat nap time.
No, playtime. If we're talking about theoretical knitting and or crochet,
We could be here all day. I was in my stash.
if we're talking about theoretical things, if people have good suggestions for like lacy crochet beach cover-up things, because I may have a destination wedding to go to in a couple months, and I would like a lacy crochet or knit beach cover-up thing. So I'm
Isn't there-
soliciting patterns.
There's a Winnipeg crochet designer. She does a lot of boho 60s themed crocheted
Ooh, okay,
lacy
yes.
like cardigans, which you could easily just make the back panel twice to make it a back and front panel. I don't remember
well,
her
even if
name.
it is like a cardigan, as long as it's just like lacy and drapey.
That's what you're looking for? That makes sense.
Yep. I realize I have absolutely no idea what one wears to a resort in Jamaica.
I don't think I've ever been to a resort in Jamaica.
That will be the farthest south I've ever been. It will be my only time being at a resort, and it will be the warmest place that I have ever been.
Yeah, and your point is wonderful, good places to visit. I went to the Dominican Republic as a child.
My point
was
is,
fun.
I have no idea what to wear, so I'm soliciting ideas for resort wear that I can make quickly. Oh, Nikki
Yes,
Knits
you're,
on it. She's got a thing for me apparently.
Excellent.
Oh, Nikki also has cast on for the Iron Heel sock for the podcast anniversary cal. They will be for hubby. I posted a link in Discord. Gonna look at that later.
Oh, lovely. Mom says I'm loud and you're quiet.
How's this? Am I louder now? If I nudge that down slightly. There. How's that? Okay. If I pay more attention, I can keep myself in the yellow band. More akin to where you're at. Tracy says, wear lots of dresses, very humid. Oh no, I hate humidity. I also don't have a lot of dresses.
Hair...
Okay, well, I guess I'm buying dresses.
I'm like, can we just we're just gonna get on to eShakti, dear. After this, we're gonna order you a couple of dresses is what we're gonna
do some online shopping after this? Okay.
Yes, because
sounds good.
Your current wardrobe is not gonna fly where you're going.
No, I know.
Your
The
summer
mock
wardrobe.
turtleneck and kombucha dress.
Your summer
Not gonna fly
wardrobe.
in Jamaica.
Your summer wardrobe is barely going to do you. Like we have to sit
God,
down.
what
We need to
summer
do some
wardrobe?
shopping.
Don't
Yeah,
have
like
summer wardrobe. I
we need
tolerate
to
summer.
we need to fix that because you are going to melt into a giant puddle of
I
Jocelyn.
know. I know. So I have 2 months to
So okay,
fix that.
we're gonna start with the online shopping today because that takes time to get to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna yeah, guys.
Maybe I can knit a tank top real quick. I've been wanting to knit like a tank top kind of deal.
Only if you've cast it on so that you're working on it by the time you come to me.
Maybe.
Because you're going to want wider straps and a higher neckline than the collar calls for most tank tops to comfortably fit a bra strap under.
Maybe. I may also just like not care or wear it on top of a bathing suit.
Fair. They also tend to be slightly more fitted garments.
I'm aware of what a tank top is. I'm aware of how they work.
You mostly wear men's unisex t-shirts.
I'm also aware of that.
Those are not fitted garments.
I'm aware of that too.
Just point of clarification, that's a lot closer to Jocelyn's style of clothing. Just so that we know what you're doing here.
I'm aware of all of these things.
Okay. Just look at you're in the know and you're not just like, this would be great. And I'm just like,
Oh no, I have considered this.
I mean, yes, let's step out of your comfort zone, try something new. I need photos, or it never happened. It's like I'm super here for you for that. Also, are you sure you know what you're doing? Because it would be like
I
me
have
buying a
considered
printed
this, yes.
be like me buying a printed top with like a screen print on the front. You'd look at me funny. You'd look at
I
me
would.
funny.
Yes.
Hence the funny looks. Go in the other direction. Oh
I'll
gosh.
shock everybody with a sexy beach photo shoot or something. I don't know.
You would shock everybody if you owned a two-piece, dear.
I'm guessing the 2-piece with the tank top kind of top doesn't count.
No, a tankini is simply a one piece cut in two.
I mean, yes.
That's what I wear. I'm almost. I do own a bikini top, a full on proper bikini top. It doesn't support me worth a darn. It was just for sun tanning in the backyard because, oh boy, do I hate being 50 Shades of Beige. But I'm getting to the point where I truly do not give a flying fart. And bathing suits that support me are so bloody expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I may honestly just buy the $180 bathing suit bikini. And if you don't like my belly, look somewhere else. I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore.
I'm rapidly approaching that level of care.
I want a comfortable bra style top and a skirt bottom because I like the skirt bottoms because I have no butt. So I can pretend I have a butt. It's just under the skirt. It balances out the sheer volume of, hello, what are these? Which for me is a thing.
Sherry's
So,
suggesting caftans to match the hippie urban apothecary vibe. And also
You have no
suggesting
idea.
specifically silk caftans rather than crochet cover-ups would be cooler.
Like when you're here in January, I just want to go to the fabric store and go, okay, we've purchased a caftan pattern. You're here for a week. Like first day you're Monday after work. We go and we buy it and I cut it out. And I teach you to sew on like a one size fits all 60s caftan. Or it's
I
just
know I don't have time
straight
for
lines
that.
and a belt.
I don't have brain cells for that.
I want one for you so bad. The wild print. Like,
I don't think I do the wild
bad for
print.
you.
I'm just not a wild print kind of person. If the print was going to be wild, the colors would have to be chill.
Muted. Yes. Yeah. Chill colors, but like giant zebra print or something. But in gray.
Not animal print. I really don't do animal print. It just I don't like it.
You don't. No, it's fine. No.
I'm sure it would look fine on me, but I don't like
mine
it.
Would be like, no, you would be a nice like a stately stripe. Nice,
stripes, or I
like
can do tropical
grayscale
flowers. I'll
stripe,
even do some
tropical
parrots if I
flowers. Yeah,
gotta.
tropical flowers are better than parrots, but that's because we talk bright, bold colors and like Hawaiian prints and parrots, and all I can think is my grandma Catherine. And we should understand, I love my grandma Catherine. I loved her then. I love her now. She has not been with us since I was 16, so she's been gone for a very long time. Still have flashbacks of her clothing choices. She's blind like us, so like her patterns never matched. And she loved Hawaiian prints, tropical florals. Oh yeah, the louder the better. I mean, we could always find Grandma Catherine, which was a bonus. Which was a bonus. But
Yeah, yeah.
quiet was not her wardrobe choices.
Yeah, I'm going for the more like beiges and whites and camels and taupes and
Oh, let's be honest. You would be in a beautiful, classy looking caftan, and I would look like a 70s Chesterfield, and we'd both just be just pleased as punch with our choices.
yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
that's how that would work. All right. Should we do some craft off? I didn't even look to see who won. I just assumed because you said there were very clear winners.
Oh, yes. Okay. Should we talk about last month craft off first?
We should.
See how that played out?
It played out. How
I
well
don't
we
remember what
did
your
or did
craft
not
off was
do.
last month. Mine was the cross stitch. The cross
I
stitch border
had
ornament.
the leftovers of my knit picks, and I was going to do leg warmers.
Ah.
Yes. Also, so kindly pinned a thing to this chat thread so I could find your word. So, of course, now we've been chatting and I can't find it anymore.
Oh dear.
Doing great today. I had it downloaded at one point because we had it sorted in a document, but I can't find the document anymore. Oh, found it. So I must have at some point deleted the document. I don't know why I would have done that. I need it weekly, but I did it. So here we
Who
are.
knows?
I found it again. Here we go. I don't even know. These are updated words or not. Oh, sorry, these updated words. Do I start at the top? I must start at the top. I'm going to assume no, maybe?
Or it's just a list of random words.
It's literally just a list of random words, and I'm not sure where I'm starting with that. Okay. I was supposed to work on some legwarmers. I decided to do the wool shanks pattern, which was suggested to me by Jen because she loved it. She showed us the patterns, and the pattern links shared it. We all went, oh my God, those look so cool. Not wrong. It is a very cool pattern. So I was to make 2 leg warmers. What were you to do? You were to finish your polar bear, weren't you?
I was to finish my polar bear ornament.
Okay. I knew I wasn't going to
Christmas.
use. I wasn't going to use all of my knit picks because I have 8 balls of this blue. My legs aren't that big and they aren't that tall. That's 400 grams of
Legwarmers
yarn.
are just not that big. They're not
just
that
not
big.
that big. So I still have blue to use for something. Probably fingerless mittens or regular mittens. Some sort of mitten to go with leg warmers, which that makes sense. Or like a headband or something, right? Like make a matching accessory set, right? Maybe? We'll see. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what to do with it because I'd like to, again, I don't want to add to the 2 boxes of scrap worsted I have. I need to do something to get rid of that stuff, guys. There's no space in the storage unit, and I've got more yarn coming, so we needs to deal with it.
More blankets.
Oh God, maybe. So that's what we were supposed to do. How'd you do on your bear?
Everybody, hold on to your socks. Hold on to your socks.
Hold on my socks?
I finished the bear.
Oh, yes.
I did not finish it in time for Christmas. And
Yeah,
I
fine.
did not get the backing glued on either because maybe I just finished it last night. But I finished it.
By maybe you mean you actually finished it last night?
And I mean, the back is spaghetti, but apparently that's just what cross stitch looks like in the back.
Yeah.
But I finished it.
Oh,
And it's
so
only
good.
got like 1 or 2 mistakes. And it looks so good. This was actually really challenging to do in the poor lighting this house has, I realized last night, because several of the blues and greens look so close together. which makes for a really nice Northern Lights blend. But it was really challenging to see in the warm yellow light.
I regret not buying that kit.
It's so cute. Anyway.
So cute. I regret not getting that kit. See, now all I can think of is that little zombie stick figure that runs across the screen at the end of the Buffy episodes and goes, "Arg! Arg!
Grr, arg.
Arg!"
Arg.
That's where my brain went.
Oh,
I may have rewatched Firefly this week. Maybe full of Firefly quotes, people. I haven't rewatched Firefly in years, so it was on Disney Plus, so I watched it this week. It's 13 episodes. It's not that long.
It takes no time.
It takes no time. Oh,
Rosemary, so sweet. I see no mistakes. Yeah, well, they're not obvious mistakes. They're just like, if you looked very closely at the chart, there's a few little squares that are out of place. But you know what? It's fine. Because nobody
I'm not the person to ask, because I never see the mistakes. I think it looks great. I am super excited it's done, and you can have it out for next year.
I can. I have to
which is
trim
amazing.
my spaghetti and glue on the backing,
Yes.
and then pack it away nicely for next year. But it got done. I have to send pictures to mother-in-law that I finished it and hung it on my tree.
Yes. Well, she designed it, helped design it?
Worked with the designer.
Designer?
Yeah, there's a lady in Winnipeg.
It was a collaboration she did with someone. I'm
she
just not sure how much. I'm not sure how much she did. But it was really cute when she was showing me hers and the kit, because I was obviously over at the Mysterious Mr. B's house. And anytime I go there, many things are shown to me. I am there for many hours.
Well, yeah, they all have crafty things to show you.
They all have crafty things to show me. So I settle in with a good cup of tea.
To a giant ostentatious bun.
Probably, yeah. I settle in with a good cup of tea because I'm going to be there for a bit. I know this every time I go, because I don't go very often. But that is how it works, so it's fine. Mr. B is the worst because he backlogs board games, but he has to show me the whole board game and explain every single set of rules. I don't remember. There's too many of them. I don't remember. And I haven't been in months.
Oh, you better settle in for a marathon.
I gotta have to visit for a very long time. One weekend, I'm gonna have to go over.
Dinosaurs?
Ah, good. Because I want to play. Want to play that game again.
I know, because we won.
Mostly yes. Because nobody will play Mars Needs Mechanics with me. Which is fair, I always win that one, so I understand why it's not a rotation. I'm just really good at collecting money in that game, and that's the point of the game. The gear shapes are really cool, so really, in real life, I am not good with money. I am really bad with money in real life, but in that game, I'm like a freaking oil baron. I'm just like, collect all the coins. Oh, that works. So I wonder if I'll be good at the video game Evil Bank Manager. Maybe just one of those ones where I'll be like, maybe I'll just rock
Sherry says
that
I should
game.
keep my polar bear out all year. It's not Christmassy.
It isn't Christmassy,
but it is wintry.
That's fine. You can have it in your background.
Maybe.
And then just have him tucked away till next winter, once it starts to become spring. We just start collecting small cross-stitch kits for every season, so you can take the winter one out, put the spring one in, take the spring one out, put the summer one in.
I did have my laser cut inappropriate word snowflake in the background for ages.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the fudge flake.
Absolutely.
So I could keep a polar bear in the background for a while.
Mm-hmm. Right on.
All right, I will do that. I'll finish the backing, and once that's dry, I'll hang my polar bear in the background.
Fair.
Okay.
I really wanted to finish lunch.
Carry on. But we need to know about your craft off. Where did I put my craft off? Oh, it's there. Okay.
I've come to the conclusion that I need more than one pair of these wool shanks. I may actually need to make a pair for my mommy.
Okay.
Look at that patterning.
So squishy.
And it just flows. It just flows. I raced up this leg, and I actually, boy, did I have to add extra leg. They're like, repeat this 4 times, and then do the cuff. And I did it 4 times, and I went, you're cute. And then did it a few more times. one tall enough. and then I got bogged down because it's 6 inches of ribbing at the top.
Oh, that's a lot of ribbing, but like to hold
It's
all
six
that
inches
swoosh
of
up.
2x2 ribbing.
The hardest ribbing. No, no, that's like 3x1 ribbing was probably the hardest.
3x1 might be the hardest, but 2x2 is pretty darn close. So I have my first leg done. It fits great. Phaedra loves to lick the bottom of it. It won't take me long to felt this bad boy. So I need to do my second legging. Like 15 days doing one repeat a day or one repeat every other day. So like by the 15th of the month, I was up the leg. Took me nearly 2 weeks to do the ribbing. I just could not bring myself to do the ribbing. I was also ribbing a cowl for a whole month. So much ribbing this month. So
Yeah,
I don't
I
have
don't
a
know.
pair
You
of
and this ribbing
legwarmers.
thing, you proclaim to hate it so much, yet.
I do it so often because it looks so good. So good. So I need to do my other legging. So I'm gonna probably cast on my second legging as a treat to myself tomorrow for New Start Monday. Get a
Solid
ribbing,
plan.
get my second leg where we're going. So I technically am half done. Half done. My other option was to just work on the second leg warmer this week and like bust out a leg warmer in a week, which I could have done, but I worked on my sister's blanket instead.
Well, that's
Because
fair.
it really,
That's a Christmas
I
present.
wanted to get that finished. Mostly, I'm just sick of having it on the floor beside me, and I want it gone. But I got one 50-gram ball of the white wool of the Andes left, so I have enough to do because it 6 inches of 2x2 rib on a 4 millimeter, so it's dense and tight and snug. Is a lot of a 50-gram ball. In fact, it is most of a 50-gram ball. So, but I definitely have enough blue because I only took 2 balls to do the blue leg, well, like a ball and a ball and 3/4. Because I have a tiny little ball floating around here in the bottom from the first one. I have this much left over from my second skein
Huh.
for my
That's
first
not too
legging.
much at all.
So I will start with this and then start my second leg. So I will have balls of blue left over. So for sure, fingerless mittens. But after that, I don't know. We'll have to just see where I am. And yes, I have other shades of like wintry white yarn that I could just steal from if I want to have like a contrast stripe at the start of the bottom of the fingerless mitt so it matches. So it's a matched set. I could definitely do that. I just don't technically in that specific colorway. So that is how I did on last month's craft off, which is not too bad considering I wasn't supposed to work on the ribbed cowl for the wool of the touch of alpaca, wool of the Andes. No, touch of alpaca.
And you did it anyway.
And I did it anyway. So I could have had 2 like warmers done if I hadn't been cheeky and completely disregarded the craft off and did whatever I wanted anyway.
Fair. I suppose that means it's time to talk about this month's craft off.
Like, look, that's how much is left over of my white.
Oh, wow. That's hardly anything.
Not a lot. Not a lot.
Well, that works out great.
So
just enough that you're not playing yarn chicken.
Just enough I'm not playing yarn chicken. I'm not keeping the white, guys. I won't. It's not staying. It will be either rolled up really tight into a ball for dryer balls because it's natural wool.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Or it will get knitted in with the blue to just make a tiny little small cat ball. And it'll be stuffed and tossed on the floor for the cat to play with.
That works.
She likes balls. They roll. Fair.
Makes sense.
Fair. Does she need more toys? No.
She gonna get more
she
toys?
does not.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, she is.
I mean, Auntie Diana has to bring something.
She likes balls.
Things that roll. That sounded all right.
Dirty. Her yellow one's like this big.
Oh wow!
I want to
see her carrying that around.
Pop. I don't know if she carries it right now. We bat it and get it stuck under the coffee table, but it rolls really well because it's a foam yellow ball that my mom brought.
Yeah,
she loves it. Not as much as she loves the catnip filled flopping fish toy, but really.
I mean, you can't compete with a catnip fish toy. Have you managed to charge it yet?
Nope. Because I started charging it and then she decided she needed to play with it, so she knocked it off the computer table because it's a USB computer charging thing.
Ah.
She took down my keyboard, my mouse, 2 projects, my crochet hook box, and her fish. The cord is not long enough for me to charge the back of the computer, so it's up out of reach. So it's like at the front of my computer where my USB hub is, because it's not a
Right.
long cord.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to charge it on a period of time when I'm in front of the computer at all times. So probably Critical Role. Because then I'm here to stop her from making such a ginormous mess. Like, I'm surprised she didn't take the microphone out with her when she went up here. So, but sometimes
Amazing.
I'm going to touch the microphone, guys. Sometimes I come and she's taken this,
Oh no.
the
Not the
microphone
fuzzy
cover,
microphone cover.
and she's run
Oh
off with
my
the
god.
fuzzy microphone cover. We're not quite apathetic. I'm a senior cat. I don't do anything stage. We're still at the I will get into trouble stage.
Sherry says Merlin's toy is a pipe cleaner.
She loves pipe cleaners. Mommy doesn't let her have them because she will eat them. If she would just stop trying to eat them, I would leave them alone, but she tries to eat the stupid things. I'm like, don't need that in your intestinal tract, buddy.
She also suggests you could shut the door when you're charging the fish.
My cat doesn't do shut doors.
Then you'd have to listen to meow.
She'll scratch the door. There's absolutely nothing drives her nuts like a closed door. If the door is open, she leaves rooms alone for hours, but the moment a door is closed,
Can't have it.
can't have it. What's on the other side of the door? Cat brain kicks in. See, look, like I have my eggnog here to cast on for the winter socks, but I can't. Because of the stupid shirt. Probably why
I'll
I'm
figure
still
out how to
grumpy
switch
about
some
it.
colors for you.
All right, craft off stuff.
Craft up stuff. Okay. For you, it was a very solid winner, so I'm not even going to try to build suspense here. Solid win across all platforms for Nordic Knights.
Okay, that's what we're working on.
81% in favor of Nordic Knights.
Wow.
So
It's
you're doing
because
Nordic
everybody
Knights
saw-
this month.
Everybody saw that
and
was just a
Gleese can
cast on
just
edge.
Take a bad seat.
Just a cast on edge. This will not be a finish, guys. This is a fingering weight pullover Jocelyn style, so tunic length. And I literally have a cast on edge.
So this is just see how far you can get in a month.
See how far I can get in a month. Ideally, I would like to be done my charts and on my body by the end of the month.
All right.
Because that's technically. Hang on, I gotta find the other ball. I've got two rounds. Technically, it'll be most of this cake and a chunk of this cake in color work done.
I'm so excited to see this. It's going to be so pretty.
That is my hope. I mean, like stretch goal, color work and sleeves done. But realistically, given my work schedule, color work and split for the sleeves, right? Like realistically, I'm done the yoke part and I'm onto the body part of the sweater, right? So this is some beautiful yarn from Erin of Fireweed Fiber Co. Guys, don't forget, you can use Northern Knits 10 and save 10% off your orders from her. So, with all that beautiful gift yarn money you got for Christmas, now you know what to do. Also, her new sock club starts. So it is Buffy the Vampire Slayer themed this year. And you could do sock skeins or a single skein of DK weight yarn. I'm doing DK. But this is her Pinot Noir and the January colorway from the Songbird sock clumps. So it is finally being casted on. Thank the Lord. Took way too long for me to get to this in my jack bag, which I think you bought me. Yes, you bought me this jack bag.
Sure.
I think this is a ginger snap.
I definitely remember this.
I'm so glad you do. I think this is a ginger snap bag. I don't remember anymore. It's a jack bag. I have a jack bag and a coffee bag from you.
I remember the coffee bag.
And my Hello Bees bag. You're like responsible for all of my craft bags. Did you realize that? When I stop and think about it.
Not all of the bags, but several of the bags.
Most of them, yeah.
Many of them.
Many of them, yeah. You're my bag distributor. So that's my winner, so I don't have to you don't get to see that for a month. My poor Glace sweater. Guys?
Is that one just gonna secretly get worked on anyway?
I mean, not so secretly, because I don't have to keep it a secret.
That's true.
It's just two panels in a boat neck 80s style baggy sweater and bulky yarn. I may
It's so
honestly just
squishy.
work on it
I
because I
definitely want to
can.
pet that when I'm there in a couple
Oh,
weeks.
absolutely. Absolutely. This is some Arrow. Is it Arrow? Yeah. AERO yarn from Morocco. It is a bulky weight yarn. It is actually fiber, alpaca fiber, blown into a nylon tube. So the yardage on these balls is insane for a bulky weight. Like you read the yardage and you think that's got to be like DK or worsted. It's bulky, and it's knitting up so freaking nice. But you can see it's fuzzy from the alpaca,
Oh yeah.
but not like mohair fuzzy, right? Because it's encased in a tube. In a tube.
I'm so curious how that'll wear, like whether the fibers
Well,
will work their way out or if they'll stay relatively smooth.
I made a cowl for a girlfriend, so I should message her and see how her cowl is wearing because she's had it for a couple of years now.
Hmm.
On massive needles, like my needles weigh more than my sweater. My needles are the heaviest thing in this project bag. That's what this is. So I can just work on this whenever the mood strikes me. Love
Nice.
it. This is all prep work because next month is the sweater challenge. Oh yeah, sweater challenge. Okay, okay. I can do this. I can do this. Right? Maybe. So there we go. I know what I'm working on.
All right.
You said it
Mine was
was it clearly a winner for you too?
I had a clear winner. It was not quite as decisive as 81%, but with 65%, we are
Okay.
65% in favor of finishing the Diana socks.
Oh, I voted for the other one.
So I know
Also,
you
I
did.
tried, Matt.
I found it interesting that on YouTube, as I work my hair out of there, on YouTube everyone voted for the Asa cowl,
Yeah.
but on the other platforms it was almost entirely in favor of finishing the socks. There's always that one
Uh,
platform that goes off and does something different.
always.
Anyway, so these are the Diana socks by Nikki Knits.
Yeah.
I have one entire sock finished. These are going to be my first pair of lace socks that I've finished, and it's got that cute little cable right up the back. Out of the January yarn from Fire Reed Fiber Co. last year. I don't remember what the bird was. Anyway,
Year before, dear. We're in a new year now.
yep. It's only day one. I'm still getting used to that. And then I got exactly this far. Oops, that's the back. I got precisely this far down the leg. And probably stopped because I saw something shiny that I needed needles for. I don't remember.
Sounds right.
Anyway, apparently my task for this month is to secretly finish this sock, which is great. I only have to knit 3/4 of a sock.
That's not a bad goal.
Yeah. So that's cool. I just need to find some available sock needles because I'm not quite sure where I put them all.
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
certain I have at least 3 pairs of sock needles. One of them are in the socks, the vanilla socks that I'm working on right now. I think
Okay.
I need to liberate the pair from the Hufflepuff mittens
Ah.
because I'm not working on intense color work this month.
You
Well, I'm
already have a
working on the
lot,
Cobra this month. I'm not
which
doing
is
intense
color
Hufflepuff
work.
this month.
Yeah. And really, you'll have an FO by the end of the month, so you can just put the sock needles back in the Hufflepuff and work on Hufflepuff in February.
I could, in theory.
I live in hope, guys. They're going to be my mittens.
They'll get done one day.
Like 50.
Nose.
I finished your mitts. Oh, jeez. That was a while ago.
Yeah. I mean, they'll happen eventually. So that's what I'm doing for craft off.
I feel like the rebuttal is so will self-driving cars that we can trust.
Those might happen first. Those might
They
happen
might.
before the mittens.
They might. Ah. Which is good. And it does mean we're done talking about projects and we can talk about wool gathering and other things. Oh, almost
Oh
done.
no,
We have
we
a
gotta talk
cow.
about the podcast anniversary.
The podcast anniversary.
Celebrating 6 years coming up in March.
You betcha.
That's 6 years is a lot farther than the 6 weeks I thought we were gonna get.
We were talking about this before we went live. I'm like, and now I don't, I can't. I would be weird. Like, I don't think I'd be okay not doing this.
It would be
Like,
so weird.
it's just such a part of my schedule. It's such a habit. I'm like, no, that's what I do. It's my thing. I'm busy. Like, my family's programmed to avoid time slots when they know I'll be doing knitting podcast stuff. And really, once your extended family knows not to phone you on Sunday because you're recording, like, it's established.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
I have this distinct memory of near the beginning, you were telling me something like if you just eventually your family will just accept that you're doing this thing, like you just say, oh no, I can't at this time, I have to do the podcast, and it'll just be like a
Yeah.
perfectly normal thing. And I remember
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, right, that's like so weird, they're never gonna go on with that. But then like literally a couple of weeks ago I was like, oh, I can't video call at this time, I'm podcasting, can we do it later, and something like that. And like,
Yeah.
I've done the thing that I thought I was never gonna do, and they were just like so chill about it because like, oh yeah, I forgot you Sundays,
Yeah.
whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was just the most normal thing in the world. I'm like,
in the world.
okay, I guess this is what we do now.
Yeah. Make plans when I'm visiting mom and dad, and it's just like, okay, we'll do this at this stage. Like, but we're not doing stuff on Sunday. You podcast on Sunday. I'm like, no, I podcast on Sunday. Like, it just becomes a thing that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It takes a while to get there, but it like sneaks up on you, and then suddenly it's just a thing that you do, and then like you're introducing yourself to new coworkers, and you're like,
This is your.
like, what do you do for a hobby? Oh, like, well, I do this like podcast thing. I guess I'm a YouTuber. Or like I do this like knitting podcast thing. Like, oh, how long you been doing that? I'm like, oh, like 5 years. And they're like, wow. And I'm like, that didn't sound impressive in my head until I said it out loud.
So you say it out loud, and then you're like, oh,
Like, I'm a YouTuber in my spare time.
all right. That happened.
It still feels weird to say that, but like, yes,
It's what we do.
It's true.
It's an accurate
I mean, we're not going to get the
statement.
golden play button anytime soon, but
We have a small, dedicated community.
I like our small, dedicated community.
We're niche. We're curated.
Yes, those are words to describe us.
I'm a curated hot mess. That's what I am. Okay.
A curated dumpster fire.
Curated dumpster fire. Can't tell if that was
Amazing.
my cat yelling at me or telling me off.
Oh, was that what I heard?
Yeah.
I heard some kind of weird noise.
She may have been telling me off. I don't know, guy.
How dare you have a good time on the computer without her?
My life. My life. Why did I want a cat again? I love her. She will be my last pet, but I do love her. Not because I wouldn't have more cats. I would absolutely have more cats. I'm at the point where I don't think I could properly care for another cat. So,
especially if you went from kitten, because they require a lot.
They do, and she could conceivably live upwards of 20 years. Like, cats can have a very long lifespan. So
yeah, she's
going to be around for a while unless something extraordinarily crazy happens. So I'm going to have her for a bit, and my vision is still obviously fading. So it's a thing that I have to keep in mind.
Maybe one day she'll learn not to flop on the floor right in front of you when you're walking.
No cat on the planet knows how to do that. They all know how to flop on the floor in front of you.
And then get mad at you for stepping on them even though they flopped where you were about to walk.
Absolutely.
Cat logic.
Cat brain. That is how that works.
Anyway, shall we explain the thoughts behind the 6th anniversary knit along?
Yes, please. Let us discuss that.
So the traditional wedding anniversary gifts for 6 years are iron, amethyst, and candy, was it?
Yes.
So to count for this knit, I'm calling it a knit along. It's a craft along. It's
It's a craft log, guys.
you can
I'm Crochet, my
crochet
first
whatever.
project.
It's a
Weave,
craft along.
tat, embroidery. I rarely say no. I said no to Asa, but her and Cherry were off on a tangent. Wasn't even remotely close to what would be okay. So I
Okay.
rarely say no.
I'm I'm so curious now.
Oh, they were way off into left field. I was looking at my stash and I was just like, nah, you two. Answer is negative.
To qualify, the it has to have a motif or a name or a designer name or a color that is related to iron, amethyst, or candy.
Yeah, it's not a hard it's not a hard ask. And iron is a very vague gray color, so like I have said okay to every shade of gray that's been presented to me. From like black wrought iron through to pale gray steel iron colors. I've said, yeah, no, it's gray, it counts.
What if you did a rusty iron without?
Yeah, that would count.
Okay.
You just need to justify it. If you're not sure, just justify it to me. And if it's not a very difficult line of thinking, we're good to go. Like there was the one you did the maple leaf shawl because maple leaves are on trees and trees are wood.
Yeah. Well, my color was like it was wood colored.
Yeah, and I just went, yeah, no, that works fine.
Oh, Sherry says their idea was totally acceptable. You were so mean to us. And also said, I still think we should get that. She is saying no just because.
Yeah, guys, it was way out to lunch. Like I don't remember how far out to lunch it was. Just God. I'm like,
So
what
far
in
out
the
to lunch,
world?
it was like dessert after dinner.
I don't know where they were. I don't know where they were. They were somewhere having a good old time, but I don't know how they got there.
Sherry says, as mods, can't we say yes to each other? I mean, we are
Can we
sort of in charge.
We're sort of in charge.
Oh no, our mods are ganging up against us.
It's all downhill from here, people. It's all downhill from here. The mods are taking over.
Uh oh. I think we have a coalition of mods against
Coalition of
us.
mods.
Uh
Oh no. Oh
oh.
god.
Anyway, okay. So what are you doing for your iron amethyst candy themed 6th anniversary knit along?
I have a mysterious Mr. B. He's a very good friend. You guys may have heard of him before. He's been around for a while. He actually designed our artwork, and he is known for a couple of things. One is being the mysterious Mr. B. One is for being a philosopher at heart. That boy was meant to argue things like why lamps are lamps are hats.
I thought it was why a chair is a hat.
Everything can be justified as a hat. Yeah.
Anything can be
very,
a hat. Sure.
He very distinctly argued for 2.5 hours why most things can be a hat. So he's also known for wearing crazy hats, like full on fitted hats with stuffed horns on the side of them. Like this man will wear a hat.
Capital H
And
hat.
he will
Okay.
wear a ridiculous hat. Happily. Your husband, not so much. He's not really a ridiculous hat wearer.
No, he's more of the bowler hat type.
He's a bowler hat or a top hat. He likes them old school hats, not the wild wacky hats. So,
No, he's not really a wacky hat person. What have I got in my eye?
and we were talking about ideas for the knit-along. We were discussing iron things, and I think it was Karen shared a picture of an iron helmet hat that she'd made. It was crocheted. It's got the visor across the face, so like a knight helmet kind of hat. And she did it with a red plume in the back crest to make it like a Roman style hat. And like my brain latched onto that, and I went, I need that. I need a hat like that. And I found a pattern called the Roman helmet. It's stylized like a fantasy-esque version of a Roman helmet. It's not historically speaking accurate. I am aware that that's not what they look like for the most part.
I mean, making it out of yarn makes it not historically accurate.
Historically accurate.
So...
I found a crochet version. It's great. I'm going to go, and I'm doing it for very idealist purposes. A, I want to make this freaking hat because it looks like it'll be a fun construction piece. B, I had two nicknames for the mysterious Mr. B when I dated him. He was either the Greek philosopher or the Roman soldier, depending on where his haircut was at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I am making him a hat as a nod to the inside joke of calling him the Roman soldier from back when we were dating. he has been informed that this is what I want to do for him because I really want to make the hat and I will never wear it. I'm gonna make it out of acrylic for him, and this is why I'm making it, and this is what the vague looks like. And he went, yeah, no, he would wear a hat like that, so that'd be totally fine. He would be super okay with that. So I'm going to make him a Roman helmet like hat in crochet in gray, which I've already said is basically iron colored. Because I can. And I'm going to make it with the red slits and the red poof in the back, which is not historically accurate by any stretch of the imagination, because it's
Whatever.
like a mashup of a fantasy knight and a Roman soldier, and they kind of like mashed the two hats together and like picked the pieces they liked to use. Whatever, I like the look of it, so I'm going to make it, and really, it'll be fine. So that is going to be my first for sure project. Because do you see all those scraps back there? There's a lot of gray in there, so like I'm gonna go fishing for my gray because I really need to get these scraps dealt with. In theory, I'm actually aiming to have that done by the time Diana gets here. Because if we can do that, if by some stretch of the imagination we figure out a time when we can do photos while she's in
In the
town
daylight.
in the daylight, it'll probably be in her in-laws' yard, which is where we were the last time we took photos.
I mean, it's a nice yard.
It is a nice yard. But if we have the helmet, he can wear the helmet and be in the photos and just be the mysterious Mr. B in the background. And be mysterious, air quotes.
Yep, very mysterious.
Which is a thing he is also prone to doing weird things. He's just as odd as the other one. Like they're both very delightfully odd boys. So that's where we are. I mean, ideally, Diana would have her waffle cardigan done, but I think she's
I
pushing to have her niece's sweater done.
Yeah, I think niece's sweater is gonna take precedence.
Yeah, so I live in hope, guys. I live in hope. But she does have her skiing Krieger done, the Stone Warrior done, and I have
Yes.
my Stone Warrior done. So we do have matching sweaters that we could take
So
photos in.
this is my note that I should pack matching sweaters.
Probably, yeah. Yeah. It'll be a thing we'll have to discuss after this while we're shopping and also planning January stuff, because that is what we do in the first, after the first live stream. We take a bathroom break and then we sit here and we plan the rest of the month out. Otherwise, we forget stuff all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. So that is our deadline. The rules are pretty much the same after that, guys. There's not anything super fancy or exciting going on. We don't, it's not really a thing we do. Like the rules stay pretty stable from knit-along to knit-along because we find that's easier for people and it's easier for us.
Yeah.
We love kids. We don't accept kids' garments. It has to be adult sized or like a toy because toys are quite fiddly. Toys are quite fiddly. If you're not sure, ask. Dinosaurs, dragons, and unicorns are eternal. They count for everything.
Yep.
After that,
I might, if I have time, use some spare purple yarn to make a little dinosaur.
oh yeah, purple dinosaur. You don't have a purple dinosaur?
I don't have a purple. I have a blue dinosaur.
We need a
But
purple
I got
dinosaur.
that crochet amigurumi book, and I could
Right.
make like an amethyst apatosaurus or like an
Yeah,
amethyst
yeah.
ankylosaurus.
I keep looking at the granny square toy pattern for the hippo, where it's like the granny square motif, but it's a hippo shaped toy.
I know. I want to make one of those too so bad.
I want one of those so bad because like I have pigs and I have dragons and I need a hippopotamus. I have a snowy owl. Like my stuffed animal collection is lacking in some zoological staples. I don't have a hippopotamus. I don't have a giraffe. I mean, obviously, I love Halloweens. I got bats. I got skeletons. I got. I have an oogie boogie. Like I have oogie boogie, but I don't have a hippopotamus.
Hmm.
Who am I?
We will have to correct this.
I'm a woman who's turning 40 in March. That is what I am. Talking about making myself a stuffed hippopotamus. That is what I
Yeah.
am. People. Okay, cool. Over there. But that's the cap. The long and the short of it. Hopefully you guys can join us.
Yeah. Oh, I can talk about what I'm gonna make.
Yeah.
So I'm just making a cabled vest. What is the name of the pattern? It's a free pattern. It's
I don't
from
know.
Karen, like of Karen Cakes. It's Dad's cabled vest. So it's just a sweater vest with cables. But I'm making
Oh
it out of
goodness.
purple, so it's amethyst colored.
Is this amethyst colored enough? I don't know. It looks purple to me. Yeah, that works. Guys, it's not hard to get qualified.
So, when we started streaming, I was working on a swatch. So this is my swatch.
Okay.
Look at me swatching. I think my gauge is too big. It
Well,
seems
you
loose.
are going by size measurements for your brother. You need a swatch and you need to have
Oh
the
no, I'm
right
making this for
gauge.
me. I'm making this
Oh,
for
is that one
me.
for you? I thought that was gonna
Yeah.
be for your brother.
I don't know if we do purple. No, the purple's for me. I want the
Purple's for
cabled
you?
sweater vest.
Okay. I thought this was for your brother Charlie because you've been talking about making him a vest for ages.
Yeah, but this one's for me.
Okay. Sorry, Charlie.
So this
I
works out
think,
nicely. I can make the smallest size because it's a men's pattern. So the smallest size is 40 inches circumference. So
yeah.
sweet.
I'm not sure. It looks like your fabric's too loose though for the cable pattern to show up really well.
I just realized I forgot to do my garter stitch on the top before I bound off. Anyway, yeah, it does look really loose to me, so I think I'm gonna go down a couple needle sizes. I'm
Yeah,
supposed to be
like
getting 20 stitches and 4 inches.
I don't, because that's really drapey. And shouldn't cables be like kind of squishy and dense? Isn't that the
Well,
joy of the
let's find out.
cable?
I didn't measure it before when I finished it. So let's see.
As I'm doing more ribbing. Out of my mind. It's all practice. I'm getting over the ribbing hatred by just doing it incessantly until it's like Christmas music and I don't notice it anymore. And then I can do that ribbed vest, right? And it won't matter
Well,
because I've
I
done
can
so
tell
much
you
ribbing.
right
Really,
now
what's more?
that I'm gonna have to go down a good couple of needle sizes because I've currently got like 16 stitches to 4 inches.
Wow. Nope, you're nowhere near where you
Nowhere
need to
near.
be.
Because they're like use a 5 mil needle, so I used a 5 mil needle, and that's I don't know.
Way too big. Right? Yeah, you got to
I
go
wonder why I
down.
threw those. Oh dear. Oh, there I found it. Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to re-swatch because that's gonna be way too big.
Way too big.
Yeah. I definitely have to go down a couple sizes for that. So
Yes, you do,
there's
Belle.
that.
Yes, you do.
I wonder
Shh.
where I put the ball band for this. I didn't. I put the ball band somewhere, and I don't know where that somewhere is. I'm very upset now.
This pattern wants you to start the thumb after like 3 inches of cuff. That's too short of a cuff.
I had a
I'm
ball
gonna have to
band.
make longer cuffs for this. I don't think I'm getting a hat out of this hand painted yarn.
I found it. Okay, so the yarn that I'm using, the Pretty Purple Heather.
Go with you.
Purple Heather is the colorway. It is a
Yes.
worsted 2-ply, 100% wool from Canadian Farms. They're suggesting needle size 4.5 mil, and I was using a 5.
Do they happen to
But I
have a
feel like
gauge
four and a
swatch for
half.
their suggested needle size?
They don't give a gauge. They just give a suggested
See,
needle
like
size.
I would drop down to a 4.
Yeah.
Because you're going to go, if you've only got 16 over 4 inches and you need 20, you're not going up like a stitch or two. You need to go up 4 stitches.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm gonna dig out a 4 millimeter needle.
Okay.
Anyway, it's from Twin Oaks Farm, which is from somewhere around here. I don't remember where exactly. I
My vague
met the
geographical
lady.
location device.
Yeah, I know. I met the lady at a cute little yarn festival that I went to over the summer.
Yeah.
It was the Sunflower Festival. I remember.
Was it this year or last year? I think it was last year because you got the bulky at the same time, didn't you?
I think it was this year. I think it was this summer.
Was it this summer? Where
It was
did you
this
get the
summer.
bulky from?
Which bulky?
The white roving.
Oh, the one that's like 5 strands of the roving stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that I
Or
got
is that a
that
different farm?
That's a So the Sunflower Festival was at the farm where the bulky roving stuff comes from, but I
Okay.
ordered that online definitely during lockdown, so like 21.
Yes. Yeah.
This I definitely bought in person at their Sunflower
Okay.
Festival because things were open this year in 22.
Okay.
So Toy
I'd
Notes
like to say
is
that it's the pandemic that makes us this forgetful. It's not, guys. We're this bad in general. Should see the two of us where we're looking at on either of our stashes. When did we get this?
oh
I
my god,
was
there's some stuff
literally
in there. I'm like,
looking.
where did this even come from?
I was looking at the purple and yellow yarn from Ginger Snap That for the fairy mitts we bought in freaking Edmonton in November, and I was like, where did I get this from? That literally didn't even happen 6 months ago, and I'm like, what is wrong with my head? Okay. Also, I really want to use that panda yarn. Remember, I bought
Oh,
that skein of red and white from that new to us dyer while we were in Edmonton?
yeah.
Yeah, I
Was it
really want to
Sea
use that
Panda
for
or
something.
something?
Sea Panda, I think? Yeah, I think
Panda,
it's Sea Panda, yeah.
something like that.
Anyway, it's gorgeous. I want to cast on for something. What? I haven't a hot clue, but it needs to be something.
Nikki says, any chance fiber animals are eternal? I mean, we all love llamas and sheep.
Yeah, I could see an argument for it. Because, like, you could make sheep in gray colored yarn or gray legs on a sheep. You can make an iron sheep.
Tracy says, how about I need an iron will to finish?
No, that's stretching it a bit too far.
Oh, Elsa and Sherry are ganging up on me saying, purple heather is not amethyst. Try again. You know what? It's purple colored. I don't have anything amethyst.
You tell them no once, and they're just unruly after that.
Suddenly everything's no.
All right, shall we do some bowl gathering and then wrap this bad boy up with some books?
Yeah. I actually finished a book.
Well, we got to do the wool gathering first.
I know. Okay, what's my word for the unscripted Patreon ad?
I have no idea, so I'm picking the top word of the list
All
because
right.
that's all I got to go on. And it's fire.
Fire.
I don't know if you've had that word or not before. We've done this word thing for long enough. I don't remember.
Okay. Um. Well, if you would like to financially support these shenanigans, or this dumpster fire, as we were saying earlier, you may do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we are active at all hours of the day and the night, enabling each other into buying and starting all of the things, and cheering appropriately when other people who aren't us finish things. Other people who aren't me, because Jocelyn just finished a bunch of things. When other people who aren't me finish things, because that's everybody else finishes
The
things.
best part is that ripped cowl was finished this morning, so it counts for my bingo card FO. So like day one, I get to color in a square. Yes,
Amazing.
Such a good way to start 2023 off with.
Oh, I don't have anything I could finish today.
Yes, you do.
What?
Your patchwork cardigan.
That I don't think is a today finish. It's a this week finish for sure, but I don't think it's a today finish. Maybe a tomorrow finish. Although honestly, these socks are coming along pretty quickly, so like maybe the
socks.
sock.
Yeah.
Although one sock doesn't count for a square on my card.
Get you halfway there.
It's a half square.
Yep. So super excited. And yes, before you ask, I started a project page for the winter rib set.
Excellent.
Like how the whip sprints, they're like, you're casting on, start a project page. Like half my whip sprint was starting the project page.
It's an important step.
Goodness.
It's a step. It's important. It's work that has to get done. Therefore, it's part of the sprint.
It is. Patreon members get a variety of things depending on the level and donation quantity to which you are set. From the your top end tier, where you can get videos of me and Diana video gaming that is not appropriate for children. It involves a lot of swear words on my part.
The amount of swearing I did at that bucket. I need to edit that still. I said I was going to do that on Thursday and I didn't. I'm going to do that today.
All the way down to $1, which gets you into the Discord thread, which also gets you access to all of the written bonus blog material. And sometimes when we remember to post early for bonus material that goes up, totally forgot this year for State of the Whip. We usually post those early for Patreon members and then later for everybody else. So go us, and varying
Oops.
amounts in between depending on what you're doing. So it does. Depends on what you're doing. Depends on what level you're at. Depends on whether or not I've finished the work behind the scenes on that, because it's all me.
Appreciate
We
it.
acknowledge this. We acknowledge this. For the month of January, the Patreon e-mitten, which is for all patrons who are $5 or more a month, is going to be bumped to the last Saturday of January because Diana is here on the second last Saturday of January. She'll be visiting her family, her in-laws, her husband's family, to do a late Christmas with them. And we don't have 8 hours together. We will have 3, and that's just enough time to do the podcast for the week. So we will delay the e-knit in, which is usually like a 3 to 5 hour thing, to the following Saturday. So update your calendars if you're joining us for that. Otherwise,
Yep.
really, that's
that makes it,
superfluous
the
information for
something?
you. I think
What's
so.
the date on that? The 28th, yeah.
Yeah. As far as events and dates and things that we got that are going on, obviously the podcast anniversary starts today. We always run for 3-month intervals, and we're going to run to the end of March. Sometimes we could be talked into delaying that even longer. Depends on how we're doing.
Frequently.
If it takes me 3 months to crochet a hat, we've got problems, people.
Oh dear. I mean,
We've
we've
got
seen me take 3 months to
problems.
crochet hats, so.
Yes, but I'm not you. I'm me. And my crafting's different than your crafting because we are different people. Also, I better have published a lot of stuff if I haven't done a crochet hat for fun in 3 months. So that's going on. We will start the spring equinox cowl on time. I start talking about it now so we can start sort of puttering in our brain. It'll start obviously at the spring equinox, which is a ways down the road still a bit, but it's something to start like percolating in the back of your brain. So if you were running any sort of, I'm not allowed to cast on something new till I finished a project or finished 2 projects, you know that's coming for you. So you can do your prep work, your background, your homework, as it will, and get that ready to go. I mean, seriously, it is homework. Like, we've assigned it to ourselves, but it's homework.
For a hobby.
For a hobby, it's what we do. Because, like, when I'm done the fingerless mittens, which I'm making some progress on here while we stream, that's technically 2 FOs if I count that in the ribbed cowl, so I'm allowed to cast on something new for myself for fun. 2 out, 1 in. So every second finish I can cast on for free. Now, me and Diana aren't counting socks, vanilla socks for Diana, socks straight up for me because I've got the sock duel going on. We're not counting our craft off stuff or my secret crafting, and we're not counting the knit alongs for ourselves because those are arbitrarily outside our control. Like, we agreed to them before we decided that we had to finish 2 whips to start something new challenge for ourselves. This is just strictly for the stuff we're going to do for fun. So things I want to cast on. And since patterns will start being released and are being released continuously, I know something's going to catch my eye, so I need to get some whips done. I need to get some stuff off of my needles and off my hook. So that's going on. As far as other places where you can find us, every other Wednesday roughly, or Tuesday sometimes, we will stream us playing Stardew Valley. That's always delightful to watch Diana run around and water plants. I don't know why, but it's just a thing that we enjoy doing, and we're so close to fall.
I'm not gonna blow up the garden. I'm not gonna blow up
Don't
the garden.
blow up the garden. I almost have a second pony. Like, we've almost got enough for a second stable, so then you can too also run around on a pony, which will make you so fast.
Zoom.
So
want
much
the
zoom.
sprinklers. I need those sprinklers.
I need someone to go to the mines and keep mining things. I'm doing it, but it's slow work when there's so much farm for us to make sprinklers for. This is what we do for fun downtime, guys. We manage a farm. It's kind of people we are. So I know that those will be happening intermittently. Because it varies depending on what our evenings look like, there's very rarely any warning for those. They just sort of show up.
Yeah, those don't have a time. They're on Tuesday or Wednesday
Wednesday
around 7 p.m.
ish. Yeah, my
ish,
time. Yeah,
sometimes.
yeah. So that happens. This coming Thursday, you can find me live with Louise. It's time for a secret craft off check in. Oh boy, because this is the last month secret craft off check in, and then in February it's so 2 week sweater challenge time. So if anybody's looking to join me and Louise for the 2 week sweater challenge, I don't have dates. We usually release the dates in January for everybody, but the goal is to knit a sweater from start to finish in 2 weeks. Whatever weight of yarn you deem as an acceptable level of challenge for that is super okay with me, Louise. I'm doing worsted this year because I did a worsted sweater in like 3 weeks, 3 weeks and a bit. So like I am so close to a worsted weight sweater in 2 weeks that I want to keep pushing myself at the worsted weight level to like get to the sweater at 2 weeks. My ultimate goal is to be like a fingering weight sweater in 2 weeks. At my size, guys. I'm a 52-inch bust at my size.
That's a lot of knitting.
It is a lot of knitting. It's my job for those 2 weeks, but I want to prove to myself I can do it. Or at the very least, even if I don't get it all done, like I get a whole body of a fingering weight sweater done in 2 weeks. That's still one heck of a goal
Yeah.
to get to. And I know I can do it. I just need to do it incrementally in stages. So right now we're working on getting to a worsted, and then we'll work on getting to like a sport DK weight, and then we'll keep shrinking the weights. I am never aiming for a lace weight sweater in 2 weeks. I can't see stitches at fingering, never mind at lace weight. That's just asking for trouble. But I would like to be able to start making sweaters as fast as I know they can be made. And I know that they can be made pretty quickly. And I want to get to that level. And yes, some of it's monogamous knitting and some of it's my own fault. I am aware. I am aware.
But shiny things.
But shiny things.
Sometimes literally sparkly things.
Literally sparkly things. So, for everybody who's going to join us for that, that's coming up shortly. Otherwise, we will not be live again until the first Sunday in February.
What's the date on that? That'll be the 5th of February is the next
The
time
5th of
we'll be
February?
live.
Okay. I don't know. That's not my job. That's Diana's job. So I think that's it for all the things as far as dates and stuff. We do have our very first prize donation for the podcast anniversary. We've had a project bag kindly donated. Now I will never have the project bag in my hands because having me mail stuff out is just asking for trouble. So the project bag will stay where it is. And once people had been drawn for prizes at the end of March, I will then make sure that information gets to Tracy, and Tracy can send the bag because we don't want me doing that. I know last year Erin donated some yarn. Once we were done, Erin took the yarn from me and she mailed it because we understand how bad the gremlins are for me.
It's impressive.
Just that is what we do, and that is how we do it because that is how it works. And I'm done arguing with these things. Just avoid it if I can. How long did it take for us to get me into the back end of the Shopify store? 3 months?
Something like that. We succeeded finally.
But we got there. That's the important part, people. All right. So if that's all done, that just leaves books. Literature. Ooh, no, wait.
Wait, what?
Gonna ask a question live on the internet and put you on the spot. Are you gonna start the TikTok?
Oh, yes, we have a TikTok. There's a whole 2 things posted, but now that it's the 1st of January and I have brain cells again, I'm going to attempt to be more active on there. So, find us on TikTok, Northern Knits Podcast.
We also have decided that because neither me nor Diana enjoy the Facebook platform, we don't like it. That we're going to not get rid of the Facebook group, but it is pretty much going to go dormant, and we're going to spend the focus on the platforms that we do enjoy. In Diana's case, TikTok, for me, the Instagram, and for both of us, the YouTube page. So like the YouTube community pages and that stuff. So we're going to start working on being there more actively because those are platforms we enjoy more. So you'll still find us as Northern Knits places, but if you want to actively get a hold of us, you need to look at doing it through Instagram, through YouTube, and through TikTok. Those will be the places to find us.
Yep.
That's important news. And it's not that we won't, because like we have moderators. There's the marvelous moderator also. There's the Google Master Sherry. They do watch the other platforms to help make sure people get directed to the right places. So like somebody will catch you if you're in the wrong spot and let you know. It's just really not going to be the two of us. Mostly because by the time I've noticed there's a Facebook notification, it's been days later and somebody else has already dealt with it. I only keep Facebook for my family and for my high school friends. I don't use it otherwise. It is not a platform I enjoy using, so I'm not on there. I'm mostly on Twitter and Instagram. That's where I'm happiest.
I will basically just be on TikTok.
You were yeah, but that's your thing. That's what you like. So why be elsewhere if you don't like
Jude's
it?
asking, can I post my finished jumper photo to the Facebook page? I can't use Instagram.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like at the end of cows, I will go check Facebook and we'll make sure everybody who can't use Instagram is over. Like it'll still remain an open group. We're just not going to be actively using it. So if you want to put your cow entry and stuff in the Facebook group, that's totally fine.
Oh, it's totally fine. Email.
Yeah. Yep. Email's always good. Yeah. We have an email. It's northernknitspodcast@gmail.com. That's also a good way to get a hold. It'll take a day or two sometimes, but that's because I only check emails once a day. Same. And that is a restriction I placed on myself. Otherwise, I would obsessively deal with emails and get nothing else done. And a lot of emails are spam. A lot of them are not necessary or something that is deadly timely orientated. So like it can wait a day.
Yeah.
Same with like sometimes people message me on Twitter and they're like, it took you a day to get back to me. I'm like, yeah, I check Twitter twice a day. I read a couple of things, I post something and I leave again. Like I don't check it all the time and all of my notifications are off social media wise. If you see me in the Discord chat, it's because I've opened Discord of my own free will. I have received no notification. Or I'm trying to track down Diana.
Pretty much, unless you specifically at me, I get nothing on my phone. I like it.
I only at you if I need the information sometime in the next 8 hours.
Also that, yes. I am also the master of ignoring direct notifications and DMs. So that's phones. I want to gush out on the phone. I got one of the phones.
Again?
Yeah. But like I can look at patterns so big now. I have a small tablet in my pocket. I'm so excited.
You're very happy with your flip phone?
I'm so excited. I got a little witchy on it.
Okay. I can't wait. I'm going to upgrade to that Galaxy or that Pixel 7.
Oh, I think
with the selfie
with the selfie mode.
Because when you have talkback turned on, it and selfie mode turned on your phone, it'll actually let me take selfies again because it'll help me orientate my face on the screen. Because by the time it's arm's length away, I can't see what's on the screen.
Fair.
So how do you take a selfie? I don't anymore, and I'd like to start taking them again because I like taking pictures of myself in places I am rather than just the place I am. So, and Google's done a lot of work on its talkback. It's getting quite good. So accessibility-wise, I'm going to a Google Pixel 7. I just have to decide if I want the Pro or not. Probably do. I think I want that third camera. It's a really nice camera. It takes
some pretty snazzy photos.
It's a freaking nice camera.
It's got a wide-angle lens on it. Holy.
I know. I'm highly tempted because I really like their camera specs for it. So
the close-ups, because of course Mr. Diana has been taking pictures of his minis.
Of course he has. Well, you need to. How else is he supposed to share them with his brother?
It's not bad.
I know, it's a pretty freaking decent camera. So, that is where we stand. Now can we talk about books? Yes.
Now we can talk about books.
Now we can talk about books.
Oh, maybe I can't. Maybe I just turned 87 and
it's like, did you just develop a pack-a-day smoking habit for 40 years? Like, what is this?
I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry. I'll just be over here with my water.
It is the 1st of January, so we all know what I did. I set my Goodreads reading challenge numbers. Oh,
I met my challenge for last year of 30 books, so I upped it
good.
10%, as I've been doing, for a grand
Yep.
total of 33 books this year is the goal.
I'd set a arbitrarily large goal of 130 books, mostly because I'd reached 100, so like the next stretch goal is 130 for me. I read 111 last year, so I modified my challenge goal down to 120 this year because I think I can add another 9 books. I
Oh
had a
yeah.
couple months where I barely read at all, so totally doable. I've also taken some steps to reduce the amount of time I spend watching television because I have made the decision that I'm spending too much time doing it, and I don't want to anymore because I'm not getting enough out of it. So I just have Disney Plus. Everything else is gone, which means if it doesn't happen on Disney Plus, I'm not going to watch it.
That's fair.
Nor do I need to.
Also true.
I don't need to. I'm not missing out if I don't see the new Star Trek. It is not the end of the world.
But how will you binge old Star Trek?
I really, at this point in my life, I have binged old Star Trek since it was new Star Trek. Like, with the exception of the original series, I've been around for the rest of it.
We're watching, it's a rewatch of Voyager for Mr. Diana, but it's my first time seeing Voyager that we're doing right now.
Like, I've watched Deep Space Nine 6 times, all of it.
All
I
of it is a lot.
don't. I was sick for 8 months. I didn't do anything other than watch Deep Space Nine, drink ginger ale, and eat sleeves of soda crackers for 8 months. I was really sick, man. You remember? I was really ill.
That's true. It's true.
I was really sick for a long time, and I didn't need to think to watch that show, so that's what I watched. I don't need to. There is nothing in the old repertoire of television shows that I need to go back to. It's not necessary.
Well, that frees up lots of time for reading then.
I want to do more reading. I want to do more academic study stuff. I want to be able to fall down more Skillshare holes and learn some more skills and stuff. Like there's other things I want to do, and I've been putting them off because I'm watching Too Hot to Handle. Like,
Okay, but sometimes it's where your brain's at.
I have
Sometimes you
anime
just
for
want to
that,
let your brain melt out your ears.
and Too Hot to Handle is a way to do that. So I'm done. I understand. It's a personal choice. You can choose one way or the other, whatever floats your boat. I'm done. There is freaking 400 nonfiction books on my to read pile right now.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I need to stop spending time on things that aren't getting me where I want to go and
No, that's
move to
fair.
formats and things that I do. So I'm like 120. I'm hoping I can just blow through that goal this year. I did finish off December strong. I finished 2 books in December, which, given how busy December can be, is pretty impressive. I finished a re-listen of the Iliad, which is the Greek Odyssey story of the telling of the Battle of Troy, which is technically the anger of Achilles. I did it on the Big translation. I actually own a physical copy of the book, but I picked it up on Audible and listened to it. It is an epic poem. It is delightful. However, it took me a lot longer to read than I thought it was because I forget exactly how distracted I get with little factoids and looking them up to see what their connotations are, historically speaking. So, a book that should have taken me 3 or 4 days because it was really only like 20 hours legit took me 3 weeks because I kept crawling down holes of research to look at factoids and interpretations of things.
Is that a
Not the
bad thing
book's
though?
fault. No, it's not. It's not. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I love the classics, and I need to go back and read more of the classics. So that's happening. And Outrageous, which is a romance novel, which is really going to be my melt your brain level stuff at this point.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, so those are the 2 books that I read and finished up the year with. I haven't opened anything yet today. I was listening to Gone Medieval, which is a podcast about unshockingly medieval history, and I was learning about tithe bards, which I don't know a lot about. There's a book. It went to the pile to read.
I finished my 30th book of the year just under the wire last night.
Excellent.
So I finished Knit 1, Kill 2.
Oh, how was it?
I think that was on the recommendation of somebody in chat like a month ago.
Yeah.
Um, it was very silly. It had strong Hallmark Christmas movie vibes, like big city
Oh,
girl
okay.
comes back to the town where she grew up, except it's a murder mystery and there's a knitting store.
Is it a
And the
cozy
author
murder mystery?
clearly. Sorry?
Is it cozy murder mystery?
Yes. As much as a murder mystery can be cozy, yes. And the author's clearly a knitter. Also, this was clearly written in the time when eyelash yarn was a hot, trendy thing.
Oh
Do
God,
you remember when that was a thing for like 2 or 3 years?
I do.
Yeah, it was that time period. That's where it's set.
Was Louise pulls it out every once in a while.
Anyway, um, yeah. So and it's, of course it's got the love interest that's the enemies to whatever. I don't know. She just decides.
Enemies to lovers.
Yeah. Well, I
It's a
mean,
pretty
they
classic trope.
slightly unsatisfyingly they didn't actually wrap up the romance plot.
Boo.
I know. Minus a star for not wrapping up the romance plot, but it had all the beats of it. And there's like one part where they're doing like their investigative detective-y things, and they have to pretend to be a couple, and all those things.
All the classic tropes.
And then, of course, there's the big reveal in the last chapter, and they confront the killer, and they get him to confess, blah, blah, blah.
A book reviewer, you are not.
Well, I don't want to give it away in case anybody wants to read it. I'm trying to do a
That's fair.
spoiler-free review.
Okay.
Anyway, I don't know. It was fun. And short.
Good. And you made $30, so you're gonna try for 33 books this year.
I'm going to try for 33 books this year.
Excellent.
So on the current reading pile, actually I think it returned itself to the library this morning, but Gideon the Ninth in ebook format.
Could you please read that?
I have been. Also, my new phone's really great as an e-reader because you can actually just open it like a book and it's so good. But that one has returned itself to the library, but that's okay because Siege and Storm came back. So I can pick up where I left off with that one. Yeah, I know, it's bad.
You need to get some books finished. Some books finished.
So we're going for 33 this year. I feel like that's entirely reasonable because
It is.
I read so much over the summer and then I stopped reading for 3 or 4 months pretty much.
Yes.
So I feel like squeezing in 3 more books in those months where I didn't read before would be entirely reasonable.
Yeah. Well, and you'll notice you'll start to pick up speed the more you do it.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like any other thing. If you do it, practice.
Also, I've started the cuff on these socks.
Excellent.
It might be a today finish. I need scissors though.
I'm not going to get this fingerless mitt done today. I'm going to have to stop ribbing shortly and work on something else because this ribbing is driving me bonkers. And good news, that means we're done, so I could do an outro, and then we can both not be on the internet for a while.
Yeah. Apparently I need to go buy some humid weather dresses.
Yes, you do. So I'm going to say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you,
don't forget
to knit.
Oh, that was so off. Okay.
That was not good.
Oh, I didn't end the stream. Oh no. Okay, bye.
Bye, guys.